Okay. Good morning, everybody, and very welcome to the morning class. Before I even talk further, just let me know if you can hear me clearly. Well, sometimes you're talking and you can't even hear us. Just thumbs up if you can hear me. Cool. Welcome to our yoga therapy session today. Already have a request. I'm still bad to exercise. Could that be different? Okay, first, in today's therapy class, what exactly we're going to have is, it's a little bit of technical thing. Usually, when I teach classes, I just ask what people wants to do it, but you always feel free to put your request of whatever you want to do it. What I'm thinking of doing today is lower back issues, not specifically just about the injury. It's more related to your daily life, what you're experiencing right now. So how we're going to release the lower back thing, and at the same time we're going to cover up a little bit of the tiredness of the leg, and tiredness of the leg with a little bit of the sciatica issue as well, the sciatica nerve, which is also related to your lower back there. So we're going to do it through the hip releasing work. So today lower back part is mainly when we're trying to release the tension from the hip. It really gave a lot of soothing impact in your lower back. And to the end, as a practice will progress, to the end we try to target on the areas, as I mentioned, that the tiredness of the leg or the issue related to the sciatica. So these are the things what we're gonna do it. We're gonna start with in 1 minute time, but still I want to hear just what are the problems you're facing it right now. What are the issues you experience in these days? As most of us, we are staying at home, so I'm sure there's a lot of problems does happen in the body. So please feel free to write it. So I'll see that if not today, maybe I will cover up next week those issues. And good morning those who are writing it. Yeah, so as I mentioned that, so main thing is going to be a lower back issue with through tightness in the hip. Shoulder please, because always on laptop. QL issues, shoulder right, rotated calf. Props needed. Yes, the props needed is 2 blocks and a strap. That's a usual one, I always use it. Some pain in my right knee, shoulder pain, hip, tightness, knee, lower back is good. Tight shoulder and neck, upper back. A lot of shoulder, lower back and sciatica. Yeah, this is what we are doing today. But sometime when we're doing a lower back sciatica, doesn't mean that we stick to that. So there will be a little bit releasing that's gonna happen for shoulder as well. Shoulder is something is very hard to neglect it, but main thing is what we're targeting, because it's too many things. So you can't practice like too many things in one class. So we try our best to, whatever we targeting at, we focus on that. Okay, so lower back, so it's going to be a lot of hip release. Those people having a lot of discomfort, any part of the leg, it can be hip flexor, it can be adductors, it can be ITB, it can be glutes. So specifically these are the very tight areas we have in the body, and we're trying to release most of them. And towards the end we're going to have a very soothing movements, like those who have a lot of tiredness in the leg, it's for that. Okay, so a lot of them are happy because it's lower back. Yes, Janice is the lower back. So let's start the class because we have a lot of things to cover up. So for now, okay, let's just be with the single block will do. You're going to use the block, sit on it in a simple cross leg position known as the Sukh Asana. Nice comfortable pose. Using your hand, pull your right hip and the left hip. Just feel the sitting bone. Keeping your palms on your knee. Just a gentle press. Inhale, elevation. Lift the shoulder. Roll it back. Bring it down. Exhale. Once again. Lift the shoulder. Roll it back. Bring it down. Exhale. Once the shoulders down, just sliding your hands fully on the knee, but don't need to tense your arm. Relax yourself. Sukh, the feel of relaxation. No holding up your tension in the body. Slow and steady. Looking straight at the eye level, and everybody closing your eyes. All you need to do is just listen to the instruction. You don't even sometimes need to look at the screen. Always try to go slow and precise. Just deep breathing. And keep breathing. Only from the nostril. So mouth remain closed. Just a long deep inhalation enters into your nostril. And a long deep exhalation. Release it out of your nostril. With each and every inhalation, experience a cooling breath enters into your nostril. With each and every exhalation, nice warm air. Release it out of your nostril. So breathing in slow and deep. And breathing out slow and deep. And it's always very important whether you are in the self-practice or in the classes. Always let yourself to be settled down physically, mentally before you start your practice. This thing help you to improve your level of concentration, improve your focus, so it can make you more attentive on whatever things you're going to focus on. One more deep breath here. Join your hand in front of your chest. One arm. Breathe in. If you're able to open your eyes, now stay 12. Now once you lower your hand, I want you to release your block at the side. We're all going to sit on your mat. Sit at the center of the mat so you always have a space at the front and you always have a space at the back. Hands bring it behind you. Move your feet side to side. Just loosen up on the tightness in the back. Little bit tap the back of your thighs. Have a little space between your leg. Rotate your feet. Slow circular motion. Reverse rotation. Good. When you flex your toe, just bend the right leg here and move your knee. Just soften your pelvic there. Good. Straighten it. Bend the other leg and keep doing it. Just simple flapping it. Straighten it, pull the left and the right hip, bend the left and the right leg. Now keep the hands behind so it helps you to elevate in the spine so you don't feel any pressure on your lower back there. Just a little bit flapping it. Just create some loosening work here. Okay, stop flapping it. We can't really lean forward here because it's going to tense a lot in the lower back. So what we're going to have is, we're just going to cross the leg. We're going to come over on our hands and knees here. Simple releasing, we're going to make it through the cat and cow stretch. I'll show you in the other angle. So keep the hands exactly underneath your hip. Okay. Keep the knees underneath your hip, toes under, wrist and shoulder in a line with fingers being spread. Just a little bit hollowness on the back. Soften it so tailbone is free. Melt your heart. Slightly lift the chin as you inhale. Then scoop the tail, belly button in, chin to your chest as you exhale. Inhale with a nice archy feeling. Melt your heart, tail up, chin up. And exhale, scoop the tail, belly button in, chin to your chest. Inhale with the arch. Melt your heart, tail up, chin up. And exhale, scoop the tail, belly button in, chin to your chest. Now I want you to continue that. Do not stop it. Just inhale with the arch. Melt your heart, tail up, chin up, look up. And exhale, scoop the tail, belly button in, chin to your chest. Stay with my instruction. Inhale with the arch. Melt your heart, tail up, chin up, look up. And exhale, scoop the tail, belly button in, chin to your chest. Inhale with the arch. Melt your heart, tail up, chin up. And exhale to round your neck, your back. One last time. Inhale with the arch. Melt your heart, tail up, chin up. And exhale, scoop the tail, belly button in, chin to your chest. Now you're going to neutral your spine. When you neutral your spine, holding here. Now starting with your, show from the front, starting with right leg. Extend it over to the right side, just keeping at your same hip line there. So right hip and right foot stay in a straight line, maintaining here. Keeping that. Now slowly dropping your left forearm and right forearm on your mat. So here we're just going to work on the internal external rotation. You're going to turn the right foot all the way up to the ceiling and bring your right foot down to be grounded. So you can see from here, so when I'm keeping my leg sideways, I'm just turning like an external rotation for my right leg. Then internally rotate to ground it. With inhale, turn it out. With exhale, ground it down. Maintain the action. So keeping here, so every inhalation you turn it out so your toe is facing up to the ceiling. And every exhalation you turn it down so foot can be grounded back to its original position. Inhale, turn it out, facing up to the ceiling. So everybody have a different range of movement. Don't worry about it. And exhale, turn it down to ground on the foot. Okay, we have 3 more times. Inhale, turn it up to the ceiling. And exhale, we're going to ground down. Inhale, turn it up to the ceiling. And exhale, we're going to ground down. One last time. Inhale, turn it up. Now this turning we maintain, we're going to straighten the arm, turn fully up to the ceiling, holding here, and we all gonna come up. So it looks like exactly into this angle. So keep your right toe facing up, maintain the stability in your hip, holding that, just a little bit elevation creating in the lower back, but actively turn, stay, right hand on the right knee. Left arm reach up to the ceiling, inhale, and just simple into the side extension, called the gate pose, parigra. Maintaining that, holding it. So it is not about to go so low or so deep in the position, it's just to create a proper elevation on the side. Stay there. Just for 5. Just the simple actions we're making initially. For 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale, rising up all the way, and exhale, lower your hand. Once you lower your hand, put your hand back to the original position and your right leg join with the left. Once your knees stay in a straight line, we just go straight. Extend left leg over to the left side. So hip to heel all in a one straight line. We're going to drop the forearms. Hold it here. When you drop your forearm, you can simply interlock your finger. Just pay attention to your left leg this time. So the action is similar. Inhale, turn the left foot. Exhale to ground down. Inhale, like externally rotate, like turning, and exhale, grounding down. Okay, stay with my instruction. Don't go too fast. Inhale, turn it out so you can feel the action, and exhale, rolling in until the foot gets grounded. Inhale, turn it out until the toes facing up, and exhale, roll it down, your foot get grounded. We still have a few more to go. Inhale, externally rotate your left foot facing up, and exhale, press it down to ground down. Inhale, turn it out all the way. Exhale, ground down. We do 2 more times. Inhale, externally rotate. Exhale, ground down. And we have last one here. Inhale, turn it up. And we're going to hold this until the arm gets straighter. Just to make sure your knee and heel still stay in a straight line. And we're going to come up, take an angle as the gate pose. But remember the external rotation to maintain. A little bit of scooping the tailbone, upper body rising up. Holding here, right arm reach it up. Left hand on the knee, extension with inhale. Just simply into the side stretch. You can go up to your shin. Remember, you don't really need to go down all the way to the toe or anything. Just maintaining that, keeping it. Deep breathing. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Rising up all the way with inhale. Lower your hand with exhale. Put your hands in front and your left leg back. We're going to ease in the leg for a while. So fingers spread, toes under, lift the knees and extend to the downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, you're just going to paddle your feet, moving them just simply right and left. Create a nice loosening work. Right and left, right and left. Good. Bring your feet together, look into your hand, and step your right foot outside of your right hand. When you step your right foot outside the right hand, holding here. Now, I want you to slowly start to lower your hips. So you're going to target slightly into your left hip flexor, but now as I talk about we're doing a hip releaser, we're going to target your inner thighs here, which is more on your adductor releaser. At the same time, a little bit focus on the ITBB on the outer line as well as your glutes. So what I need is, if you do have a block or something to the block height, or just stay on the hand, whatever you have, just using them. So remember your back knee is down. Can you relax your back toe? with this block, you're keeping here. I need your body to stay more upright first. Keeping that. So remember, the main thing is happening is the action of the hip is not to stay up, the action of the hips to push forward. That's where the left front thigh is feeling it, creating a space. So when you go to give a proper releasing around your hip flexor, then after that you can start targeting a little bit of your psoas, which is required a little bit more elevation. So we'll look for that one now, okay? So the block which is on the left side, can you keep it on the highest point and slightly closer to you? We're gonna come up with right hand on the knee. So point here, we're not arching on the back, we are elevating the spine and shoulder rolling back. Elevation doesn't mean you lift your hip up. Hips are still pressing down, just using the hand to stay upright, just stay upright, holding that. Some of you may find quite an intense stretch by now in the hip area. Remember, but that's the intention we have for today. You may struggle sometime while you're holding it, but always wait for the feeling which comes in the post stretches. Just for a short while, okay? Everybody, just right arm, reach it up, not for back bending, just extend it up to the ceiling. Keep it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now right hand coming down, block back to the same. Put both hands on the block. Okay, I want your hips to bring it up. Front foot, just half a step. Slide it towards you. Adjust the block according to that. So the block on the left, flatten the palm, right arm, open up to the ceiling. Just simple spinal release here. Up to the top hand for 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Right hand coming down. Lift the block at the side, palms flatten. Right leg back, knees aligned, toes curly to under. Lift your knee, and I want you to ease it out in the down dog. Just paddle it out. Paddle it out. Paddle it out. Paddle it out. Heels high, look forward. Step your left foot outside the left hand and slowly, slowly start to lower your hip. Bring your block back into your practice. Hands on the block, holding here. Okay, once your back knee is stable, and always remember, whenever you're dropping the back knee, if you always finding some kind of discomfort, you can always have some layer of cushion underneath your knee. But for now, I want you to relax your back toe. We're gonna keep this, holding it. So check that front knee does not go over to your left ankle. It's just trying to make a straight line. Action of the hip is not elevated. It's pressing down. The elevation we create in the spine, but pressing we create around the hip region. Okay, we just look for elevation straight away. We're gonna change the block which is on the right side on the highest point, and we're just gonna keep left palm on the left knee. So no leaning on the right, no leaning on the left. We have both, one for right hand, one for left hand. We stay here. Just deep breathing. Inhaling, exhaling. We still have plenty of things to work on. We're just trying to target on releasing first. Stay with the deep breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. The practice with patience always guides you to the longer way. So remember, you don't need to rush for anything or any time. Have control. and it's good to know what you're doing it. Now, when you're ready, you're gonna extend the left arm, holding here, just elevation here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. When your hand coming down, the block height change to the same level. Now your hips slightly lift, so no tension left in the flexor. Left foot, half a step slightly towards you, knee and ankle in a line. Right hand on the block, left arm. Just simply open up, like very simple twisting to look up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left hand down. Just moving your left leg back. Shift the block at the side. And this time, we're going to just sit back. Okay. So it's called a Vajrasana. Vajranadi. Vajranadi means itself is called the sciatica nerve. So this is exactly what you're doing is your heel is kind of like being like a true ball pressure point to the area, which is also called the piriformis releasing. So I want you to just move your hip side to side, side to side. Later we're going to use the wall to a little bit creating a elevation and space for the lower back. Especially those who are sitting a lot every single day, it's going to be very helpful. So you keep doing it. A little bit adjust the camera so you can see the wall. I'm just gonna use this slightly. Okay, cool. Now, so once you're able to do that, so you can see that I'm just turning myself. So the distance you required, so how far you need to be. So I managed to touch my leg on the wall. So keeping my body on a hands and knees and feet together, I just need to extend my left leg higher than my hip line. Just a bit will do. Just a bit higher than the hip line. Square the hip and push the left foot back. When your left foot extended back, so if your foot can be slightly higher than the hip line, just nice extension in the back, looking forward and hold. And generate the strength, the one you're keeping on the wall, generate some strength to push it back. It helps to open up the whole front line. But remember to square it down. Keeping nice elevation, look forward, not to look up or else you will overarch on your back. Hold it. Just keeping that. Is all the counter releases what we are having it throughout the day, sitting, sitting, sitting. 4. Keep the legs active. We're also getting the strength in the leg. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release your left leg. Stabilize it. One time lift your palm, stabilize it, fingers spread. Knees and feet together. Look a little bit forward. Right leg slightly extend higher than the hip line. You see right now my heel not touching. So when I extend the leg, my heel pushing back. So pushing away. So think about when you do sometime down dog. Some of you may find because of the tightness around your calf and back of the ankle, you're not able to touch your heel. Same action. Actively pushing back, holding here. Nice extension in the back and looking forward. You can't look forward enough, it doesn't really matter. But I want you to keep the activeness in the right leg. So remember, we are not practicing the yin yoga. So here when we need to engage the muscle, we really need to work it out. Continue deep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Slowly release your right leg. And once you release it, you're just on the mat. This time your knees gonna be wider. Okay. We can use it the simple angle. It can be like a mat distance apart with big toes are touching. We are sitting back on the heel with hands in front. Do not lift the hip up. Sit back. Walk your right hand. Walk the left hand. So think about side body longer. Walk the right hand. Walk the left hand. So you feel that the whole back is creating that elevation. And this is going to be good those who have the very tight upper back as well. Allow the chest, allow the chin to bring it down. Usually we call this as the wide knee child position, but it's also known as the close to a puppy pose because you're trying to bring your chest and your chin down on the mat with sitting back on the heel, holding that. Not everybody will be able to touch the chest. Those who can't touch the chest, just drop the forehead. Stay there. Keep breathing. We're going to spend some time here. Inhalation, exhalation. Just inhalation, exhalation. Keep breathing in. Keep breathing out. Just when I have a 30-second more onto the position you're holding in. If you learn to spend enough time in the proper positions, because body sometimes in holding a lot of tension, it cannot be released by touch and go. It's all of us touch and hold. That's the mantra. Touch and hold and release them whenever you can. Okay? We are almost there. Just another 10 seconds. Last 3, 2, 1. Now slowly, you're going to lift the chest, walk your hand towards you, and slowly coming up. Good. Now once we come up, holding here, we're going to ease it out in a way because we are quite a bit on the knees. So can you just wait standing up, okay? And just paddle it out. Just simple action. We call the pelvic press. So a few times, lift the right leg, lift the left leg, lift the right leg, lift the left leg. So when you're lifting it, remember you're doing in the front, okay? So like right, left, right, left, right, left. Same thing, we go at the side. So we don't keep the hand along the waist, so it will block you. Hands in front, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Good. Hands along your waist, feet hip distance, just simple hip movement. It's all the releasing you create. Reverse, rotation. Because the next angle we're doing from the standing. Okay, so we're going to have the prasarita. So it's easier to see from there. So I'm going to make my leg. So if you're using on the vertical side, not the horizontal of the mat. So see, if I keep my feet mat distance, I just need one more step wider. If your floor is not slippery, you can just go straight on the floor. Or you can use the width of the mat. Okay? Maintaining here, keeping your hand along your waist. Okay. Take a long deep inhale. As your pelvic rolling in, we are leaning forward, placing the hand on your shin there, keeping that. So the point is not to go so intense or so deep, maintaining. Breathing in, breathing out. So one of the safest way to work for lower back in a forward fold is always with the wider leg. When you create a space for your pelvic, so it does not hold any more tension down to your sacrum, and it creates more freedom into your lumbar, which is the lower back. And if you need a block, you always can use the block. If you find harder on the shin, so wherever you are, on the block or on the shin, a little bit elevated in the spine, looking forward. Just for a short while. Okay, now, while we're doing this, can you bend the right leg? So left leg stay extended. And bend the left leg. Right leg stay extended. Bend the right leg. Left leg stay extended. And bend the left leg. Right leg stay extended. We do 3 more times. Bend the right. Center inhale. Bend the left exhale. Center up inhale. Bend the right exhale. Center up inhale. Bend the left exhale. We do 1 more time. Center up inhale. Bend the right with exhale. Center up inhale. And bend the left with exhale. Center up inhale. Now once you center up, you're going to release your block. Palms back to your shin, bend the leg, and you're going to come up all the way. Now, this is going to be slightly active, then we have all the grounded position. Bring your leg closer, so it will be just approximately mid distance apart. Right foot turn half to the right, left foot turn half to the left, okay? Extend the arms sideways, holding that. So when your arms extended sideways, be nice active. Holding there. When you stay nice active, no dropping anywhere. Feel that scooping the tailbone. Take a long inhale. Stretch over to the right side. You don't have to touch anywhere. Just the side, lateral movement. Bring it up, inhale. It's about creating a space for the lower back. To the left side. Center inhale. To the right side. Center up, inhale. To the left side. We have 1 more time. Center up, inhale. We go to the right. We hold for 3. For 2. 1. Center up, inhale. And we move to the left. Remember, nice active. For 1. 2. 3. Center up, inhale. And lower your hand with exhale. Ease it out in your leg and just shake it out. Shake it out. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of the releasing into your glutes as I say that sciatica. So I'm going to explain you later on when you hold in the position. There's a few things to understand. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 or 2 block. Okay, you have 2 options here. So if you find your block is harder, so let's say if you have a chair, or you can even sit on your couch or anywhere, ledge on your bed, you choose wherever you can. So let's say if I'm sitting here, keeping my leg forward, because I have the height, or it's better that you sit against the wall. Let me show you this way. So let's say if I'm sitting against the wall, so you can see what exactly happening here. Okay, reason is when I'm doing against the wall, so in case I fall, I have the wall to support me. So I'm just gonna have nice work with the wall, sitting with some height, bringing the left leg into like a pigeon. So it's just like a pigeon prep. So the moment I go into the pigeon angle, straight away it targets into my, it's called the piriformis release. Those who are struggling with the sciatica, piriformis muscle is the one which is pinching around your sciatica. You can just maintain here. You can always lower the height, means your front leg can be shift forward, so you don't feel so tensed out. Okay, that is one. So those who staying here, just stay here. For those who find harder, because you have the height, you can do same thing by sitting on the chair, putting here, and maintain yourself to this. It gets into the same, but to feel more, you just need to have slightly more releasing to the front. So either you here or you are on the block. So you do have options, so we cannot say that I cannot do it. There is no cannot. We always make it can, we just need to figure out how. That's all we need to know. Okay? So either here or here, stay there. I'm just gonna hold it about a minute and 30 seconds more. So while you're holding it. So when you're holding it, just let me give you a little bit of the feeling is, so sciatica nerve, which is almost the size of your little finger, which is traveling from your L5 and S1, which is called the lumbar 5 and sacrum 1, and traveling down all the way. So up to the back of the knee is a single nerve. From the back of the knee down, it branches in a few different nerves. So you're always finding in the sciatica, there's a very shooting pain around your, close to the sitting bone. That sometimes happen because we have so many muscles in the hip region. So one thing is the thickest part we call the glutes. So behind the glutes is another one hiding, is called the piriformis. So what we do in the pigeon, we're always trying to release that piriformis, which is always pressing it against your sciatica. That's why there is a shooting pain start to come. So practice with mindfulness. Here you don't need to force it. Stay there and deep breathing. We're almost there. Sometimes it's good to distract you so you can hold longer. Keeping that. Last 5. Last 4. 3. 2. Okay, with 1, if you're on the chair, it's easier, just put your foot down. On here, use your hand, grab the foot, and extend the left leg, extend the right leg. Hold it here. Wherever you are on the chair or on the block, just a little bit, move it out. Check it out. Okay, bend both legs equally. Make sure you're not slipping off the block. This time, you're gonna bring the right ankle on the left knee. Use the intensity according to where you're using it. So once you place your ankle, so remember you have a wall, so there's no feeling of struggling in the lower back or falling forward. Stability is the key. So here we're not learning how to be very flexible. Here we're learning about how do we get rid of all the problems we are facing in the body. Okay? Stay there. Say minute and 30 seconds. For glutes and all this piriformis releasing, minute and 2 rules are not really applied. You need at least 5 to 6 minutes on each side. Sometimes when we do in the yin practice, we apply almost 4 or 5 minutes for the glutes. But here, because of the timing as well, so we just don't want to rush it, but at least understand the position properly. Once you have a little bit of knowledge about how to do it, you can always practice by yourself. That's the main purpose. Learn and practice by yourself as well. 1 minute. Your breathing stays deep. Inhaling and exhaling. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now grab the foot and slowly you're going to put it down. Okay, once we put it down, we're just gonna release the block. Okay, if you're using a chair, just put it aside. Okay, it's a time to a little bit get into the spinal position. But we still have the wall. So I want you to stay in the lie down, stay close to the wall that you can see your knee and heel stay in a line, and go close enough that your head look exactly underneath your knee there. Okay? Now, so imagine if we are earlier on sitting on the chair. Now we're doing the same chair position in the lie down position. Okay? Now, I'm going to take a single block to this medium setup, put it in between your thigh, squeeze the block, a little bit strengthening through the hamstring and the glutes as well. So remember, tightness does not define the strength. It's a two different thing. Squeeze it in, press it down, feel of tailbone, so pelvic tilt, inhale, lift your hips up, exhale, bring it down, slow motion, inhale, lift your hips up. When you lift the hips up, remember to squeeze your block, engage your glutes, and strengthening the lower back. Exhale. Bring it down. If you stay with my instruction, you can really control your speed. Inhale, hug the block in a midline. Lift the hips up, 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 up. And exhale, slowly, slowly bring it down. 4 more to go. Inhale, lift the hips up. And exhale, bring it down. 3 more to go. No need to rush. Inhale, lift your hips up. And exhale, bring it down. If you feel a little tight in the legs, that's normal. 2 more to go. Inhale, lift the hips up. And exhale, bring it down. We are in the last one. Inhale, lift your hips up. And we're going to hold this position for a while. 4. Keep the squeezing. 3. 2. And down. And once we're down, we're going to release the block. Extend, just right leg up, hold the back of the thigh, but remember your left leg still there. Keeping that. So keep the leg, put your hand inside the knee, just open up the right leg to whichever level it can reach. Just opening up the right leg. Remember, it's not about you have to touch the leg or lift the left hip. No. Just keep the left hip grounded and hand stay somewhere inside the knee. Just releasing on your adductors here. Good. Bring it back, put it against the wall. Left leg straighten, hold the back of your thigh. When your leg feels straight, place your hand inside the knee and open up to the left side. It's really not about, how deep, how intense you can go in the position. That's not really the purpose here. It's about releasing all the tensions we store. How do we resolve the issues? We're Because if you look at the poses wise, there's hundreds of things you can work on. Sometimes you don't need to do hundreds of things. Target a couple of them and work them in a very precise manner. Last 3, 2, and 1. Lift, bend, put it back. Once you put it back, holding here, just take a breath and breathe it out. Okay, right now you have the wall. So usually to the end I will tell you there is a one position we call the Supine. Your leg against the wall and you're lying on a back. That's for tightness in the leg. But here we just need to have 1 or 2 things to release it. I'll explain you a little bit if we have a chance. Okay, for now, you're going to lie on a back. Open up your arms sideways. Lift your legs up and just little moving side to side. So when you're doing it, your shoulder, your head, your arm, nothing moves it. Just the knee, side to side. Side to side. So this is help. So you keep twisting side to side. This is help to releasing the tension, to mobilizing your whole back from lower, like vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. It can reach up to the middle back. So keep moving side to side, side to side, side to side. Good. And finally, you're gonna drop your knees over to the right side first. And when you drop, you put your right hand on the knee, just bring the knee down. Turn the head to the left shoulder. Good. Back to the center. Open your arms sideways. Drop your knees over to the left side. This time left hand on the knee, bring the knee down, look over to your right shoulder. We're not getting into Shavasana yet. So remember, the closing is always the most important. But at the cooling poses, you put it in. It's not just about taking Shavasana. It's always you prepare yourself for Shavasana. Back to the center. Now, just simply rotate your knees in a circular motion, opposite to each other, 3 times, and 3 times to enter. Okay, here we're going to put your feet down and open up your leg as the butterfly. So we try to use it on our very least props today because we just try to work on the wall. Okay, so this is butterfly, Supta. You can stay here. Or those who wish, as I say, if not now, if you experience a lot of tiredness in the leg, so the angle I was talking about is the one you sit against the wall, lying on a back, and just put your leg up. If you do find a lot of tightness in the hip, by doing it, you can always work on the open leg as well. Because this is one of the easier way you find because of the force you have when you open up the legs, keeping this way or keeping this way. If you open up, don't hold it too long, but if this one, at least spend 10 minutes. It helps you to get rid of your water retention as well and allows the blood flow down to the lower back and give you nice soothing impact. If you wish to stay here or you wish to stay in a butterfly position, stay here. And mostly that's all we have for today's session. Stay here. You don't need to come out on write any comments or anything. But any of you have any concern or any question, you can feel free to ask me. Always keep it around 2 minutes. If you need to know anything, something I can help you out with, feel free. But if you're staying in the position, what I want you to do is just deep breathing. Thanks, Billy. Thanks, Shelley, Cynthia, Mr. Jeremy. Thanks, Juliana. And those who have, maybe some of you just because of the work, you are just sitting and observing, make sure later on you practices, because the practice, today's practice are designed because you are staying at home and feeling a lot of tension. Thanks, Janice. Middle back in the next session? Sure, definitely. We will do more neck and shoulder in the next session. But still, if you have any kind of, because end of the day, therapy is for you. Because whatever you want to request, we just want to do that. Because it's no point for me to plan something and I feel is people not really having those issues. Whatever things you have, we'll try to work on it. And another thing is, once you're done with all these legs and everything, okay, if you do find, because sometime when you have the open leg, if any of you find any kind of, usually they will not be, but any discomfort, what you need to have is just turn it around on your belly like a Sphinx pose, turn it around, lie down on the belly and stay on the forearms with interlocked finger, just a little bit elevate your shoulder. Or that one pose, you can do it, let's say if you're sitting a lot on the chair, you can just lie down on the belly and do that. When the leg on one side while the other on the wall, both buttocks should touch the floor. Yes, you should not float up the hip, because that's the main purpose. The groundness of your sacrum. And then you're trying to create opening, because leg heaviness is quite a lot. So every time when you're trying to open up, it's natural for the left hip to float up. So mindful that hip stay grounded, then limited range of movement, but precise action to release the tension there. Will this be Facebook for me to practice daily? Oh, sorry, today I forgot to on my Facebook Live, but this will be there. I'm gonna put it on the IGTV. So those who are not able to do it, so all my classes I'm gonna put on the IGTV. So you can practice from there. Okay, thanks Robert, thanks Jenny. So anyway, if any of you, those who are resting it, if you have any concern or anything, you can do it. And next week onwards, I'm also starting some Zoom classes for therapy as well. So I'm gonna have a 1 hour session. So if any of you wants to have, like you want me to look at you, or you can see me or I can see you as well. So it's sometime like the way we're doing in the classes. So feel free to connect with me. I'm gonna put the schedule soon for therapy. Some level 1 classes, some level 2 classes. It will be on the Zoom live, okay? So thanks, Patty, and please take care of yourself, stay safe, and have a wonderful, we cannot say TGIF because every day is a TGIF. So feel free. Namaste. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm gonna go off now. See you soon. See you tomorrow. Yin, 1:30.